How was your dream? The same as every other time you've ever done it.
I always feel like it's really not that bad until the last drop. I don't know why, but it feels like it gets stuck in my throat.
And don't you think there's like an aftertaste right after? Because it stays there at the beginning. You're like, oh, I'm just drinking like sweet drink or whatever.
Yeah, well, to me, it tastes like orange soda without the fizz.
Yep.
So to me, I love orange soda. So
Yep.
yeah, the ending is like, since this is probably my last pregnancy ever, and I know I don't have any more ultrasounds, is there any way that I can see the baby?
So 1,000%. We'll do a third trimester.
Because I was like, when I went the last time, you know, and like,
I know, they're like, see you later.
Oh my god.
Correct. And you're like,
wait.
this is my last pregnancy.
It's my fourth, so I'm not worried now.
Oh,
But like, if it was my first, I would be freaked
For
out.
sure.
Like I was when I had my first.
Yeah.
With my sister came over a week after, like I literally had turned like 22 or 23 weeks. I don't even remember which one it was, but something between there, 23, 24 weeks. And I felt big, and I was like, what happened? And she came over and she goes, oh my God, you look so much bigger. I said, I knew it. I knew I did.
You blew out.
And then I always remember every single one of my pregnancies, because with Georgie, I came in and I was like, you know, pound here. And then I came in, I gained 10 pounds, and you were like,
I did the same thing though. It was one visit for me, 8 pounds. The rest were all 2, 3,
and that's how
2, 3.
So ever since then, now I know. So when it happened, I went, okay.
You had your growth spurt, yeah.
And then after this, no more. But I was like, oh, I feel like huge right now. And I should not feel this big.
But I mean, you notice it. Like there's a time that the baby goes through a growth spurt, your belly pushes out, you gain 3 times as much weight as you normally do.
Yeah. Who knows what's going to be like?
You're getting sentimental about this.
I seriously, every little time, not even joking, when we did the first ultrasound and you left the room, I literally had a camera and I was like, panning the room. I was like, I will never see this room again. This is the last time forever.
Forever. It's like you're dying. But yes, we can do that.
And you're supposed to be 969.
Thank you. Hi. Can I get a straw too? Thank you. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new. I would love to have you here on this family of ours on the internet, my little soul tribe mamas. I will say y'all just saw clips of me going to my doctor's appointment. I'm 26 weeks pregnant with my 4th child. I share a lot of pregnancy right now, but I also have motherhood and cleaning and home decor and homemaking. So if that's the kind of thing that you like, please subscribe. I would love to have you here. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If this is something that you're interested in, or if you are pregnant, let me know down below. I would love to know where you are at in your pregnancy. If this is your first, your second, your third, your fourth, your fifth, your 10th, I don't know, any of those. I would love to get to know you and relate to you. We can talk about it. I love doing that. That's one of my favorite things to do, is just to talk to other pregnant mamas, especially when I'm in the pregnancy right now. But yeah, so I hope y'all enjoy this video. I hope you learned something if you are on your first pregnancy, or if you're wanting to get pregnant and you just want to learn about pregnancy in general. Today I'm going to be sharing what I went to the doctor for. I'm also going to share my little bump update for my 26 weeks right into my 3rd trimester now. And maybe you learned something, maybe yours was different, which is totally fine. We're all different. This is just my journey, my 4th journey. Y'all will hear in a little bit that even on my 4th pregnancy, every single one of my pregnancies has been totally different. So don't worry if yours is different and you feel like, well, why is she doing that and why am I not? Everybody's different. Don't worry about it. I promise you, this is just something that I want to share. I think knowledge is key. You should always know more. You should always be learning more. But that doesn't mean that what I'm telling you is right and what you're doing is wrong, or vice versa. it just depends on the person, the body, the baby, the doctor, the life, the age, everything. So let's get started. So I did end up stopping to get my coffee. My appointment was at like 9:40 this morning, and I'm not the biggest morning person. So I didn't really eat or drink anything this morning before I went in for my glucose test. They don't really ask you to fast or anything before that, but since it was the morning, I thought, what the hey, I'll just go in, get it done. So on the way home, I had to stop. I got the Bantam bagel bites, the plain ones, and then my coffee, which right now I'm having this is a grande iced decaf hazelnut mocha, light ice, no whip, with sweet cream cold foam. And usually you drink out of this top, especially if they have the sweet cream cold foam on top, which I love. But into my 3rd trimester, my teeth and my gums have been so sensitive to hot, cold, anything, hard, crunchy. So no matter what I eat or drink, my teeth and my gums are just like throbbing. So that's why I'm drinking it with a straw, because I'm trying to make sure it doesn't touch anywhere, but I want my coffee so bad. Anybody with me on that? Even though it's decaf, because I feel like people are like, well, it's decaf, what's the point? You still get some caffeine with decaf. Decaf doesn't mean there is no caffeine. It just means the caffeine is very limited. But I love the taste of coffee, and this pregnancy, all I've ever thought about is Starbucks. I don't know what happened to me, because I started drinking coffee at home with my own creamer. I put my whipped cream on it and my chocolate drizzle. It was the bomb. And I still like it every once in a while, but like all of a sudden, this pregnancy, all I could think about was Starbucks coffee. And not only do I drink this one a lot, but I also drink the cold brews, or I do get hot drinks, but since we're in the summertime, it's just not very appealing right now. Our house is hot, everything is hot. We live in Texas, it's crazy. Oh, dang it, I gotta pee. Ugh. Okay. We had to do that glucose test, which a lot of people don't like it. I personally don't mind it. To me, I like orange soda, so to me it just tastes like a flat orange soda. But the only thing that sucks is the very last drops of it. I don't know why. I don't know if the concentrate like seeps to the bottom or what, but that is the worst part. When you get the last sip in, excuse me, I don't know what is going on today. I guess because I drank that drink, I have like so much gas. It's part of pregnancy, being gassy. I feel like I keep feeling a burp coming up. Anyways, so it tastes like orange soda, just a really flat one, but the end of it, the last like couple sips, is like super concentrated, and that is what tastes super gross. So that part is not fun. Thankfully, I'm in my 3rd trimester, so I'm out of that whole gag reflex where everything makes you want to gag or throw up, so I can drink it without that happening. But the other thing that sucks is that after you drink it, you have to sit there for an hour and wait for it to work its way through your body, and then they take blood to make sure that you don't have gestational diabetes, and if you fail the test, then you have to come back. This is my 4th pregnancy, and I have yet to fail a test, thankfully, because I've had friends that have failed them, and it could be for anything. And when you have to go back, you actually have to do it again, drink that drink again, and then wait 3 hours instead of 1 and take the test again. I think they do that just to make sure that the test was correct and that they didn't just get like, you know, a false positive or something. I don't know how that works, but something like that. So I can't really attest to what happens if you do end up having a positive test, because I haven't had one, but I have heard that once it is positive, there's a lot of things that go along after that, medications and, you know, different appointments that you have to go to check on you and the baby. So again, like I said, thankfully so far I haven't had that problem, but I also haven't gotten my results back from today. So tomorrow or the next day I will get my results back, and hopefully it'll be negative. Fingers crossed, please Jesus. But I wanted to do a little bump update. That's what I like to call them. I'm 26 weeks pregnant. I'm probably like 26 weeks and 2 days or something like that. The baby is measuring at 25 weeks right now, which is normal. That's not something to be worried about because your due date is just a guesstimate. It's not necessarily like you're gonna have your baby on that date. A lot of people think that that's the date they're supposed to have their baby, and if they don't make it to that date, it's not good for the baby, or if you go after, that is not the case. That is just like a set point that you're looking at, like, okay, you know you're 6 weeks along or 6 months along or whatever. But I think the percentage of people that actually have their babies on the due date is like 10%. 10% of women actually have their babies on their due date, or 1 day before, 1 day after. And a lot of those are scheduled C-sections, mainly because of medical issues or whatever. So, or body issues. A lot of girls that are way more petite, their bodies just can't handle the whole labor process, and vaginal delivery, which is not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that, you know, one mom is better than the other because they had a C-section or a vaginal delivery, or even if you decided to have an epidural or not have an epidural. I want to make that one thing clear. Everybody's journey is different. I want to share mine just because a lot of this is for myself and my family to remember, but I also want to share with people now that I have had 4 kids, or had 3 kids into my 4th, how different it is every single pregnancy. So not only is it different per woman or per person, but it is also different within your own pregnancies. And you know, a lot of people like to go off of those old wives' tales and all these predictions while you're pregnant, and it could mean that you're having a boy or a girl. And so when people ask while I'm pregnant, they'll ask questions, and I will answer those questions, and they'll go, oh, that means you're gonna have a boy. Oh, that means you're gonna have a girl, you know, all of those things. And half the time, those people are wrong. And I will tell you why. Because I have had 2 boys, 1 girl. I'm pregnant with my 3rd boy, my 4th baby. And my first 2 pregnancies with both my boys were total opposites. So my first pregnancy, you could say that a lot of the stuff that I was feeling would lean towards having a boy, but my second pregnancy was so different that I even thought, well, this has to mean I'm having a girl, because it's nowhere near literally every symptom that I had with my first, and every issue with my body, or everything that was going on with my body, whether it was gaining weight or not gaining weight, or having morning sickness or not having morning sickness, having back pain but having pelvic pain, like all of those things, or cravings that I wanted. One pregnancy I craved healthy food, a second pregnancy all I craved was candy. I thought, I mean, that's gotta mean you're gonna have a girl instead of a boy. It's gonna be the opposite gender. And it was totally wrong. So I had 2 boys with totally different pregnancies, and not only that, they are totally different people. And that is also crazy to me, but at the same time, reality, that the perfect example of everybody is different. You have 2 people that come together and make a baby, and they make multiple babies, and you would think, well, those 2 people haven't changed. They're the same. They make a baby. You'd think all your babies' personalities would be close to the same, looks would be close to the same, and that's the total opposite too. Between my first and second child, their personalities are total opposites. They look totally different. One was born a towhead, super blonde, blue eyes, still has blonde, blue eyes, and tan skin. My first was born with dark hair that turned strawberry blonde, that is now dirty blonde, super light skin. He like burns super easy, barely tans, and he has the blue-green eyes. So to me, and not only that, I will say personality-wise, my firstborn is so sweet and so kind and so loving and very, very protective of not only his siblings, but his family and his friends, and just the sweetest heart ever. very emotional, all of those things. My second child is the total opposite. I mean, he is like a bull in a china shop. Like, whew, this boy, he is crazy and very tough, very, very tough. He's also loving. He does have that trait, but just very, very tough. So again, just letting y'all know how different it can be within your own family, let alone mother to mother. So never ever judge another mother for their choices or their pregnancy or the way that things are going, especially first-time moms. Once you've had a couple kids, you know, we have this feeling like, well, I know everything and I've already been through all this and I've got it down. And then you hear a new mom talk about, you know, what they're going through or what they feel about it. And you want to jump in and say, well, that's not right. That's not how you should do it. You need to do this, you need to do that. And I have learned from my friends having their first kids and from being that person that they would call to ask all these questions and feeling pride and feeling like, oh, this is so cool that they're coming to me and I have the answers. And then realizing that the answers that I gave them really didn't apply to them because that's not how their pregnancy was going. And it ended up being that what I ended up telling them was really just what I had gone through, not necessarily what their body was going through. So a lesson learned for myself, and I feel like everybody else needs to learn that lesson, that just because we've gone through different types of pregnancies, all these things, neither one is right or wrong, for one. Number two, judging somebody else for what you think that they should be doing is wrong, because we don't really know their medical history. We don't know what they've been through. We don't know what their body's going through every day. We only know what we see from the outside or what they tell us. And even though opinions are good, especially when asked for, and friends that come to me and ask questions, I tell them honestly. And a lot of times I tell them, hey, this is what happened to me, but it may be different for you because it was totally different for me first pregnancy compared to third and fourth pregnancy. So it's a good thing to have knowledge and it's a good thing to share the knowledge, but also know that that's not the end all be all. Just because you have knowledge from these couple pregnancies doesn't mean that those are the only ways that your pregnancy should be. A healthy pregnancy, a good labor, a good delivery, all of those things. I feel like there's too much in this world where people judge way too quickly. And feel entitled to tell other people how to live their lives and how they should be doing certain things. You know, we don't know what their doctors have told them. Same thing with pregnancies. Doctors are totally different. Some doctors allow their pregnant women, pregnant mamas to do certain things that maybe another doctor would say, hey, I don't think that's a good idea. Don't do that. That doesn't mean that one is wrong or right. It's just different. It's just different, and it's different for that person for a reason. Okay, now that I've gotten off on that. Oh my God, he's literally like kicking my bladder. Show y'all my bump real quick. So this is a 26-week bump. I'm actually a little bit bigger right now than I was with my last two pregnancies at 26 weeks. My first pregnancy, I gained almost 60 pounds, which was crazy because I was super healthy and I ate really healthy and that's all I craved. And I somehow gained 60 pounds and I was way overweight. And then my second and third pregnancy, I only gained like 25 pounds. I think one of them was 30 pounds. I was a lot smaller, my bump was smaller. So right now I feel like I'm right in the middle. Like I'm not as big as I was with my first, but I'm also not small like I was with my second and third, which is fine. But if y'all saw my last video, I think it was my last one, I talked about being a little nervous that I'm in my 30s, almost mid 30s, and my fourth child. And I am worried about my metabolism slowing down and not being able to lose the baby weight afterwards. And I'm not talking about trying to be some model, skinny, you know, fit, whatever. I don't need to be that. I just don't want to be so struggling so hard that that takes over my life, and my life becomes feeling bad about myself. And I think that sounds very vain, but it's true. We're human, and we're women, and we're always, you know, looking at our bodies in the mirrors and going, oh, I don't like this part, I don't like that part, I don't like this part. So I have dealt with postpartum with 2 of my pregnancies, or after pregnancy, and that is a big reality for me. And I know adding postpartum and everything that we go through on top of body issues and body shaming myself will just make it worse, and my emotional state will just be worse. So I'm trying to prepare myself now, and I'm not working out every day, I'm not doing all these things. I try to do as much as I can here and there. To be honest, y'all, I don't have the dang time, and I'm tired. My body hurts, I'm tired, I have 3 kids to run around with. We don't have the time sometimes, you know, maybe go for a walk or whatever, but I'm trying to make it to where I know and understand where I'm at, so that once I get to that point where I feel like I should start working out and really putting more effort into that, I'm ready for it. Now, that will not be until I'm at least 8 weeks postpartum. I'm not trying to snap back or any of that, but I will say that is something that has been on my mind because I am older, and I think too because I never had this problem before. And I will say that I have been very blessed with a super high metabolism growing up, you know, eat whatever I wanted, never gained a pound, always looked skinny, all of that stuff. Very blessed. And even after my second and third, or my first and second pregnancies, within 6 months of having my children, I lost all the weight, and I lost even more than that. Like, it's almost like my body's metabolism revved up higher after baby. People kind of make you feel like crap for being able to lose the weight. And it sucks because you want to look good, but you don't want people to be mean about it. But you also then have people that are like, if you can't lose the weight, then they're like, oh, do you need help? You know, oh, I have this workout you could do. It's always like a yin and yang. It's weird. So I don't know, but I'm not a good healthy eater, I promise you that. So, and I cannot give up my chocolate. That will never happen. I have to have chocolate. That's like life. Like, why live life without chocolate? That doesn't make any sense. I gotta pee again. Dang it. 26 weeks pregnant is very surreal for me because this is my last baby. We are in the 3rd trimester officially, and I feel like first and second went by so fast. Even though when I was in them, I felt like we were just slowly creeping along. Now I'm like, oh shit, excuse my language. It's really happening, and this may be it. And while I was at the doctor's office, I asked the doctor if I could take a picture with her. And I don't have one picture with my doctor of all the years that I've been with her and that she's given birth to my children. Or given birth, you know, helped me with birthing my children. And she was like, why are you getting so sentimental right now? And I was like, all I can think about is every single day I think, this is the last time, this is the last time, this is the last time, you know? This is the last time I'll ever feel this baby move like this in my stomach. This is the last time I'll ever be in this room getting an ultrasound. This is the last time I'm ever gonna be feeling this feeling, and so those things go through my head every single day, and I wanna remember them. I wanna remember it because I love being pregnant, and I love the whole experience, even with all the pain and the bad stuff. I love it so much. And I know that day's gonna come where it's been here and gone, and I'm gonna try to remember what it was like and think, oh, I miss that. Oh, I miss that so much. And I wanted a picture with her with my belly bump, you know, my last baby. This is, you know, to commemorate and to share how amazing of a doctor that we have. And I love her so much. Y'all have no idea how much I love her. And she's now become a friend of ours. Like, every time I come in there, I feel like I'm talking to my girlfriend, you know, like, she's so cool and so sweet. And we laugh about things and we joke about things, and just makes it the best experience. And so we asked one of the nurses to take a picture of us, and she's like, yeah, she goes, but you know you're gonna see me. You act like you're never gonna see me again. I'm like, no, it's not that. I know I'll see you every year for my pap and all of that, but this is other than, I mean, I will see her for the next every 2 weeks and then every 1 week after that before we have this baby. But in my mind, I'm thinking like, this is my last chance to get a picture with the doctor who has helped me give birth to my babies. And I don't have one picture of her with not only any of my children, but my bump. Is that weird? Do y'all think I'm weird that I love that and that I want that? I don't know, but I want that memory. You know, years from now, I can show my kids and be like, this was the doctor that helped bring you guys into this world. I don't know, I just think that's cool and exciting and fun, and those are memories that we should keep and that we should have. So she made me feel really kind of weird about it at first. She was joking with me. But since, again, this is my last one, I'm being super sentimental and I'm thinking about all the little things. And I was like, please, please, can I have another ultrasound? I said, I just want to see this baby before I have it, just one last time. And they have an ultrasound tech in the office that's only there like 4 times a month. And so she did assure me that she would get me on the schedule to have one done. So I'm super excited about that. I cannot wait. And since it's at my doctor's office, I'm pretty sure they're gonna let me film it. So I will be showing y'all that too when that happens, somewhere in the mid 30 weeks. Oh, I'm so excited. Now that I'm in my 3rd trimester, it's like crunch time. It's like, oh my gosh, I do not have that much time left. And I have all these things to do. And I will tell y'all, I don't care how many babies you have and how many times you think you're gonna be prepared, because you know exactly how everything works, and how many weeks you have and how many months you have and all these things that you wanna get done because you've done it before. Y'all, this is my 4th baby, 4th pregnancy, and I still am behind on all the things that I wanna get done. That I always thought in my head, 1st, 2nd pregnancy, I'm like, oh yeah, I got plenty of time. I'll do that in those 2 weeks. I'll do this in a month or so. Let me do this first. It never works out that way. I am literally in my mind every day. I'm like, oh God, I have to get that done. And there's things like things I want to order, and not only for the baby, but for the nursery or master bedroom, which will be his nursery. Organizing things I want to organize. There's stuff that I want for this pregnancy. There is stuff I need for the hospital. There's stuff I need for my other kids. There's, oh my gosh, y'all, there's so many things. Not only things that need to be bought and ordered, but need to be done. For example, I need to register at the hospital. And I always forget. I literally almost forgot to register at the hospital the last time. And my doctor was like, are you serious? You've already gone through this twice and you already forgot you needed to register? Like, we almost didn't register. That would have been horrible, showing up at the hospital in labor and been like, hey. They're gonna go, no, you didn't register. I would love to have 5 or 6, but reality is my body probably can't handle it. 4 is kind of pushing it. And I think my husband would run away. He loves his kids, of course, but men look at it differently, because most of the time they are the breadwinners, especially once you start having kids. Even if you are a working mom that is married, maybe you still work, but you just don't make as much as your husband, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that that's bad in any way. I used to be a full-time working mom. I've done the part-time working mom. I've done the work from home mom, and then stay-at-home mom. So I've done them all, and I actually loved all of them, especially in the season that I was in my life at that time. But right now, my husband is the breadwinner, and so I know that the first thing that goes through his head is, OMG, how am I gonna take care of this family? And that may not seem that big to us, but really to them, that psychologically is very, very hard on them. And they don't understand pregnancy. They don't understand what we're feeling, all of our emotions and hormones that we go through, and our feelings and our pain and our body pain and all the things that we have to go through, and labor and delivery and all that stuff. They'll never know. They can't even fathom what we go through. Most men will try, to be understanding and compassionate, which is great. But we also need to remember that even though they're not carrying the baby, and they may not really truly understand what we're going through and how different our lives have changed, because their lives haven't changed yet until this baby comes into the world, they're mentally going crazy. Mentally, emotionally inside. They may not share it with you, but they are going crazy because all they're thinking about is, I need to take care of my family. I need to take care of my family. I have to make enough money. I need to be able to make this, you know, great for my wife and great for my baby and great for my kids. That is a lot of pressure, knowing that this person is about to come into this world and change your life totally, drastically. And you are the sole provider. You are the one that everybody looks to say, hey, I need food. Hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. You know what I mean? So I just want to put that out there because I think a lot of moms, you know, we joke between each other and be like, oh, you know, my husband doesn't understand. I'm in so much pain. Look at all this stuff I have to do. Look at everything I have to do, which is, yes, it's true. We do a lot more, I will say. Physically and emotionally, we go through a lot more, especially pregnant and postpartum, but they go through something too. And even though they may not voice it and we may not see it physically, they are also dealing with stuff and thinking about it as much as we are. So putting that out there, if I wanted more kids, my husband would die. Like, he would be like, I'm done, I can't do no more. And I totally understand. I'm getting older and I really didn't want kids after I was 30, and I'm now 33 on my 4th. So I definitely don't want to have any more after this, probably just because, for one, my body can't handle it. For two, we have a lot of things planned that we want to do, and adding another baby just would make it very hard. And for three, I want to make sure my marriage is intact. I've always wanted a big family, and I'm now living that life of having a big family, and I'm loving every second of it. It is hard as hell, y'all. Having a lot of kids is hard. It is not easy. We make it look easy on Instagram. We have these highlight reels of these beautiful pictures, posing and cuteness, and I love that. I love doing that. I love showing that side, but at the same time, it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy being a parent. It's not easy being a mom. It's not easy to go through pregnancy and be a parent and a mom at the same time and a homemaker. It is hard. Hard. I don't care what anybody says. It is the hardest thing you will ever do in your entire life. But it is the most rewarding thing, for one. And for two, I always think, you know what? The hardest years are right now. They are not in the future. They're not in the past. They are right now. These are the hardest years. Our babies are young. They're trying to get through. Once they get into high school, I'm not saying high school is not going to be hard or anything like that, because, you know, we go through a whole another stage of stuff we got to deal with. But those are the times when your kids, at least this is how I look at it, I'm going to love those times too, because I will be able to interact with my children differently than I do now. We're gonna have family dinners and get-togethers and holidays, and then they're gonna bring their girlfriends or their boyfriends over. And then they're gonna go to college and they're gonna get married and they're gonna start having kids, and we're all gonna get to hang out and we're gonna have fun times together and we're gonna make memories together. And that's all I think about. And not that we're not making memories now, but it's just harder on us right now because they need us solely 24/7 all the time. And when we get to that point, they won't need us as much. I can't say they won't ever need us, because you know that never happens, but they won't need us as much. And it's gonna be so dang fun. And it's gonna be so awesome. And to me, this little part of our lives that feels like we're sitting in there, you know, it's taking forever and we don't know when this is gonna be over with, literally is this big compared to the rest of our lives with our children, where the rewards are going to be so abundant that you're going to think, why did I ever complain about the days that I didn't have sleep, you know, or that they were driving me nuts, or that I couldn't do this and I didn't know if I was a good mom. Those days will be over with. Okay, I just want y'all to know that if you are pregnant, you're not alone. There's so many things about pregnancy that are just amazing and fun and hard. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something today about pregnancy, about this 26-week appointment, what goes down, what to expect. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all on my next vlog. Bye. I gotta pee.